Hello friends, good evening. Bougainvillea is one of those plants that you just have to see to believe. With its gorgeous flowers and bold shape, you sure cannot miss one in full bloom. Bougainvillea plant care isn't difficult, but there are a few things you should know. It's no wonder that bougainvillea care is a popular topic we cover a lot at Joy Us Garden. We have grown it in two very different climates, and I'm happy to share my experiences and what I have learned with bougainvillea plant. I have received many questions about growing this flowering. So here is my care guide wrapped up in one. I also answer a few questions at the end of this video, to be sure to check out the answers. So first care tip is about bougainvillea. If you live in a climate with warmer winters and want an almost year found floral fiesta, then bougainvillea is the plant for you. Depending on the variety, it can be grown on a trellis or over an pot, against a building or fence, in containers, as a hedge or ground cover, in tree form, and as a bonsai. Here I am straight up sharing care and growing tips for bougainvillea, a plant I have a lot of experience with. If we are talking about the soil mix I use when planting bougainvillea in pots, it needs to be rich yet have excellent drainage. You want your bougainvillea to take the moisture it needs and then have all the excess drain out. Friends, this is bougainvillea, white bougainvillea. It is supposed to thrive in coming days. If we are talking about fertilizer, I have never fertilized bougainvilleas either when planting or as part of maintenance. I always feed them with compost, cow dung manure, or vermicompost, a good dose upon planting, and 3 inches topping every later winter, early spring, every year. And I give them banana peel fertilizer, and believe me, it is very useful or essential fertilizer for bougainvillea. Bougainvillea doesn't need very much fertilizer, or you can say many kind of fertilizer. Banana peel fertilizer is a complete fertilizer for bougainvillea. How does banana peel work for our plants, and what are the properties we can get for our plants from banana peel fertilizer? This is a complete video available on my channel, so you may go through or know all information about that. Bougainvillea performs well in a relatively small container when where its roots are slightly restricted. When the plant is large enough for repotting, move it to a container only one size larger. Use a regular potting soil without a high level of peat moss. Too much peat retains moisture and may result in root rot. Any container used for growing bougainvillea must have at least one drainage hole. Install a trellis or support at planting time. Installing one later may damage the roots. Water a newly planted bougainvillea frequently to keep the soil moist. Once the plant is established, it blooms best if the soil is a little on the dry side. Water the plant until liquid drips through the drainage hole. Then don't water again until the potting mixture feels slightly dry. However, don't allow the soil to become completely dry, because a water-stressed plant won't bloom. Water the plant immediately if it looks wilted. Bougainvillea is a heavy feeder and requires a regular fertilization to produce blooms throughout the growing season. You can use a water soluble fertilizer. Like I said, I use banana peel liquid fertilizer. Mix at a half a strength every 7 to 14 days, or apply a slow release fertilizer in spring and midsummer. Bougainvillea blooms on new growth. This means you can prune the plant as needed to maintain the desired size if you are planting this plant in a pot. Like you can see, this plant is in a pot and I have pruned it. The ideal time to trim the plant is immediately following a flush of blooms. It prefers a good deep watering every 3 or 4 weeks to frequent shallow waterings. Give a bougainvillea too much water and it can get fungal diseases and root rot. So keep this thing in your mind. Don't overwater your bougainvillea plant. Bougainvillea blooms better when kept on the dry side. Too much water will give you lots of green growth and fewer flowers. Friends, make sure the pot of bougainvillea is in full sun. Sun, more blooms. The plant needs at least 6 hours of direct sun per day to be its flower, heavy flowering. See, this is my bougainvillea plant. No, this is another plant, and this is white bougainvillea. I have pruned it. This is my older one plant. You have watched already, but in winter season I have pruned it deeply, and now it is ready to give new blooms. If we are talking about pests and diseases, Bougainvillea is relatively disease and pest free, but sometimes it's vulnerable to the aphids, leaf miner, bacterial and fungal leaf spot, scale insect, thrips, spider mites, slugs and snails, or caterpillar. If you are facing this type of like attacks in your plant, so you may go through a good pesticide, liquid pesticide you can spray, or you can make a natural fungicide or pesticide at home. There are many videos on this topic available on my channel, so you may go through. Guys, this is banana peel fertilizer. Like 10 days before, I have dipped banana peels in this jar with water. After 10 days, it is ready to use for our plant. Mix it with normal water and use this liquid fertilizer for all your flowering plant. Banana peel is a good fertilizer for your hibiscus or any flowering plant. Bougainvillea doesn't like nitrogen rich fertilizer, so try to avoid nitrogen rich fertilizer to give them. Thank you, friends.